Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another couch video. The fallacy of the dumb jock stereotype. Now, in my previous couch video, I talked about like women desiring jocks, right? And you know, that's cool and everything, but I know some people say, well, we're smarter. Even now, you get some people, even now, some people who should actually know better, talking about, well, jocks is, you know, they ain't smart like us. You got some people who ain't athletically gifted, you know, don't have that same physicality, and they'll say, well, we're smarter. Indeed, I remember, I saw a clip from this show from back in the day. It was called Average Joe. And it was a situation where they had some guys that were considered average Joes competing to win the affection of a beautiful woman, right, in this mansion, right? And then, in fact, I'm gonna share a clip of that show in the description box, because especially this one particular scene, because the average Joes are sitting around, but then all these hunks came in, or what someone would call chads, came in. Right, and you know, and these dudes were athletic, real athletic, because they at first the two groups were competing. Like the average Joes won the intellectual stuff, while the hunks won the athletic stuff, right? And let's be real, I looked at it and I was like, ho hum, because I remember the show and they were saying what some of those hunks did for a living. Those dudes had businesses. Those dudes weren't some bums or anything. Those dudes had businesses. So, you know, let's be real, or just as an aside, I don't care what your IQ is, your ass need to be making money if you're a man. Yeah, I'd rather be that 100 IQ dude who make $1 million than that 150 IQ dude who's like a janitor someplace, and that's actually happening. But anyway, I digress. But that's a fallacy that a man, a jock, is necessarily dumb. You see, a lot of times somebody will think that and want to think that because it makes them feel better, but it's a fallacy. Because, you know, I've been around jocks, the athletic type, all my life, right? You know, played sports in high school, hung out with Division I jocks in college, and later on at the graduate level, hung out with. And no, all of them ain't geniuses. Let's be real. Yeah, you can find. Look, if you look for anything, you can find somebody who ain't that bright any place. But you can find a dork who ain't really that bright. If you want to be honest about it, all these guys who will call themselves nerds or whatever, all of them don't have like 130 IQs. Let's just be real. But it's a fallacy because, you know, you have a lot of athletic people. Like there's a saying now with the NCAA tournament, only 2% of the athletes at the college level are going to go pro in a sports league. 2%. The rest of them are going to get jobs other places. You know, I remember when I was in college, the star point guard on the team, when he came out of school, now he's an assistant coach now, but when he came out of school, shoot, he was working in a corporate environment. In fact, while he was in school, he was a Dean's List student. Indeed, at my high school, most of the athletes, a significant portion of the athletes, were on the honor roll. And I was at a Catholic high school. So they didn't get easy classes. There's no such thing as easy classes, right? And you got that a lot of these private schools, a lot of private schools, they actually require that the kids play sports. Like those private schools, those college prep schools, boarding schools. So they're getting a high education, but they also playing sport. Or if you look at the U.S. military academies, if you look at the Naval Academy, the Air Force Academy, and definitely West Point, at the minimum, you're required to engage in physical activity, like exercise and stuff. That's at a minimum. But most of the students there are playing sports. Most of them are playing some varsity sport. They doing something. And then if you look at like 2 federal law enforcement agencies, probably some other ones. If you look at Drug Enforcement Administration and the Federal Bureau of Investigation, in order to get in there, you gotta pretty much have the physical attributes to qualify for the Navy SEAL. Oh, that's another one too. That's like the ultimate for anybody special forces and stuff like this. You know, yeah, these guys, yeah, they can shoot that gun and they can engage those physical activities, but a lot of times they are experts at multiple languages. They know how to blend in. They got high social intelligence, you know, but they're basically jocks. See, understand something. If you look at a lot of situations, and it's a lot of these jocks, a lot of these more physical type of people, I mean, they ain't going to necessarily be, well, there's very few true geniuses any damn way, but they're going to be highly intelligent. Just as intelligent as someone trying to put them down, thinking, well, I'm smarter because, you know, that's a honk. He's a Chad. I'm smarter than that. No. And see, that's a fallacy in there. And see, that's one of the things. See, a person can be very physical. They can be athletic, but they can be highly intelligent. You know, I knew this dude, he went to American University Law School. This dude was, I call him a genetic engineering experiment. I mean, in fact, it was a couple of them. Like the women were calling them gods as far as their looks. But these dudes were just, a couple of them were just very physically active. And then I think one is still, he's active as an attorney to this day, an attorney. Indeed, I remember when I was working at this one gym. In fact, when you talk about that thing, hold up. Back at American University, the law school intramural teams used to like kick the ass of the undergrads. They used to kick the ass and beat the undergrads like, oh, they the law students and stuff. And, you know, they all smart. We can beat them. And they used to run them over, whether it was football and especially in basketball. And then those guys would graduate law school and then eventually be like district attorneys or heads of major firms and stuff. You know, definitely intelligent. They had to be intelligent to even get in there. And you'll find that at a lot of graduate levels, people at graduate levels. I mean, I saw some stuff there at American with the grad students, but then you can probably see it other places. You know, very athletic people, even if they're not playing varsity sports, they might be in a frats or something, very athletic, but then come out and doing well. You'll find that especially in upper classes, like in upper classes, they a lot of times they put their kids in sports as soon as they can start walking, because they know, you know, a lot of them might have came from prep school or something like that. Because, and that's something that in Western culture goes back to Greek society. Strong mind, strong body, all around development. If you look at what I talk about in my books and stuff, I'm talking about being developed all the way around. That's why I promote body game, but never just the only thing. If anybody reading my book, Nice Guys and Players, will say, hey, you know, you got to hit the books. Hit those books, read some stuff. You know? So it's a fallacy. But see, here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's that simple thing of somebody doesn't have that physicality, not as athletic, so they want to feel like they're better than this other person. So they'll say, well, we're smarter. And then, you know, you got the media. You know, that's a common thing in the media. But see, the media plays on archetypes anyway. That's part of their thing. That's a whole other conversation. Indeed, that's a conversation I've had a couple times on my Deep Thought channel. They have certain programming. Because let me seg into a deep thought type of conversation real quick. Like, you have a lot of people jealous of that type. They feel bad. They lost, you know, some guys lost the pretty women to that type. Some of these guys might have been bullies or something, or just made them feel inferior. So what do? You have like some show where the nerdy guy beats out the, for lack of a better term, the Chad, the smart Chad. Or they won't even show that they're smart. They'll show that they're dumb some way to make them feel better. But see, the media do that, one, for programming, two, to make money. Two, to make money, make somebody feel good. Advertise something during that show. Boom. You know, advertise a product or even offer a product, say, hey, this can make you still get the girls and stuff. You know, you can beat out that guy, that jock. Boom. But the media stuff like that, the subliminal stuff, check out my Deep Thought channel. I get more into some of that deepness there, right? But it's a fallacy. It's a fallacy. And like I said, I have to say it's a fallacy. I have to say it's a fallacy because if you look at my program, if you look at what I'm talking about, what I want men to do, I want you to be that type who can be like physically like top notch, but also intellectually. And I've known too many guys like that. Shoot, I know one guy, that dude could throw up 300 pounds, kick your ass in a martial arts fight, kick your ass in a street fight. But he was getting a graduate. Last I saw, he was getting a graduate degree in like some type of neuroscience. I was like, man. And that, that's what I promote anyway, just being the best all the way around, mind and body. So anyway, that's all I have for today, y'all. And I'll get back with y'all later. Peace and